My dear ones, if you are here, know that it is not by chance. There is something greater happening at this very moment. Many people go through their entire lives without understanding the purpose of being in this world. But God's chosen ones feel deep down that they have been called for something greater. This feeling of not belonging to the ordinary world, this search for deeper answers, and this desire to make a difference are not just random thoughts. They are signs that God is calling you to awaken. Today, I want to talk to you about Christ consciousness and the role of God's chosen ones. Many people hear about Christ consciousness, but do not understand what it means. We are not talking about religion or dogmas. We are talking about an elevated state of consciousness, where love, peace, forgiveness, and compassion become part of your being. It is as if Christ himself dwells within you, guiding your actions, words, and thoughts. Jesus did not come into the world just to save us. He came to show us the way, and the way is the transformation of consciousness. When you awaken to this, you realize that your mission goes beyond seeking blessings for yourself. You have been called to be a light in the world. God's chosen ones carry this calling in their hearts. Even if they try to ignore it, something always pushes them back onto the path. And here is the great truth. You have been called to manifest Christ consciousness on earth. When you accept this, your life begins to change. The challenges that once seemed unbearable start to make sense because you understand that each battle is preparing you for something greater. But before we continue, I ask that you like this channel and turn on notifications. Here, you will receive messages that will strengthen your faith and help you walk toward your divine purpose. Do not let this calling go unnoticed. Now, let us together understand what it means to awaken Christ consciousness and take on your role as God's chosen one. Today we will talk about a subject that few understand in its true essence, yet it is fundamental for the chosen ones. Christ consciousness. This ancestral knowledge transcends the barriers of time and space, revealing a profound truth that resides in the hearts of those who have been called to awaken. Christ consciousness is not just a spiritual concept or a set of teachings. It is a state of being that completely transforms our perception of reality and our way of existing in the world. It is an internal awakening that connects us with the same essence that Christ manifested, not so that we become like him, but so that we manifest our own divine light. When we speak of this higher consciousness, we are entering a sacred territory that goes beyond religions, dogmas, or limiting beliefs. It is a vibrational frequency that has always existed in the universe, and that now, more than ever, is accessible to those who feel the inner call to awaken. This is not a path for everyone. It is a journey destined for the chosen ones, those who feel deep within that they came to earth with a greater purpose. Christ consciousness is not something external to us. On the contrary, it is within each one, waiting for the moment to awaken. The Bible reveals this profound truth to us in Galatians 2:20. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. This passage does not suggest that we should become Christ, but rather that we should allow his consciousness to awaken and manifest through us. This awakening manifests through a profound inner transformation, where we begin to perceive life from a new perspective. The challenges do not disappear, but our way of dealing with them changes completely. We develop a deeper understanding of universal laws and how they operate in our existence. Compassion, forgiveness, and unconditional love cease to be mere concepts and become natural expressions of our being. Christ consciousness allows us to access a state of wisdom where answers come not only from the intellect, but from a direct connection with the divine source. It is a state where intuition and spiritual discernment become as natural as breathing. At this level of consciousness, we begin to understand the more subtle patterns of existence and our responsibility as incarnated beings of light. The process of awakening Christ consciousness is gradual and respects the timing of each being. It is not a race or a competition. It is a sacred journey of self-discovery and expansion of consciousness. As this consciousness awakens, we naturally become beacons of light for others who are also seeking their spiritual path. This higher consciousness connects us with a deeper understanding of our true divine nature. Through it, we recognize that we are much more than our physical bodies or our earthly experiences. We are eternal beings, participating in a great journey of spiritual evolution, where each experience serves the greater purpose of our awakening and the collective awakening of humanity. The call to awaken Christ consciousness is a sacred invitation to actively participate in the planetary transformation that is occurring at this moment. It is a call for us to be bridges between heaven and earth, channels through which divine light can flow and transform the world around us. Service to others becomes a natural expression of those who have awakened to this higher consciousness. We do not serve out of obligation or to receive recognition, but because we recognize that we are all part of one divine family. This service can manifest in countless ways, from small acts of kindness to great works that benefit many. As Christ consciousness develops within us, we begin to perceive a profound interconnectedness with all life. The barriers that separated us from others begin to dissolve, and we experience a fundamental unity with all creation. This perception leads us to act with greater responsibility and love in all our relationships. The manifestation of this consciousness also reveals itself through a profound transformation in our way of dealing with challenges and suffering. We develop a broader understanding of the purpose of difficult experiences, recognizing them as opportunities for growth and expansion of consciousness. As Jesus taught through his own example on the cross, suffering can be transformed into a portal to a higher consciousness. Our relationship with time and material concerns also transforms. Although we continue to live in the world and fulfill our responsibilities, we develop a healthy detachment that allows us to live more fully in the present. Anxiety about the future and regrets about the past begin to lose their power over us. Christ consciousness also manifests through a deep gratitude for all of life's experiences. We begin to recognize the divine perfection present in every moment, even in those that seem challenging. This gratitude is not a forced practice, but a natural acknowledgement of the abundance and grace that permeate all existence. Our communication becomes more conscious and compassionate. Words are chosen with greater care, not out of fear, but from a deep understanding of their power to create and transform. Silence becomes as eloquent as words, and we learn to listen not only with our ears, but with our hearts. It is important to understand that these manifestations are not goals to be achieved through the effort of the ego, but natural expressions of our true divine nature that emerge as we open ourselves to this higher consciousness. It is not about trying to be perfect, but about allowing divine perfection to express itself through us with all our unique and individual characteristics. The awakening of Christ consciousness is a profound journey of spiritual transformation that requires dedication, surrender, and constant practice. This process is not just a superficial change in behavior, but a true inner metamorphosis that brings us closer to the divine essence that Christ manifested during his time on earth. The practice of prayer and meditation constitutes the essential foundation of this awakening. True prayer transcends the simple act of asking. It is an intimate dialogue with the divine, a sacred moment of communion where our soul opens to receive the light and wisdom that emanate from the source. In meditation, we learn to silence the whirlwind of thoughts that normally occupies our minds, creating a sacred space where the Holy Spirit can manifest. This silence is not empty. It is filled with the divine presence that gradually awakens in us Christ consciousness. Immersion in the Word of God, through the reading and reflection of the sacred scriptures, represents another fundamental pillar in this journey. The Bible is not just a book of history or a set of moral rules. It is a living manual of spiritual transformation. When we meditate on the teachings of Jesus, especially in the Sermon on the Mount, we begin to understand the Beatitudes not just as concepts, but as states of consciousness that we can achieve. Each word of Christ carries a vibrational frequency that, when truly absorbed, catalyzes our inner transformation. Love and forgiveness are practical manifestations of this higher consciousness. The forgiveness that Jesus taught us is not an act of moral superiority or a simple release of the other. It is a profound understanding that we are all one in essence, all in the process of evolution. When Jesus instructed us to forgive 70 times 7, he was not setting a numerical limit, but teaching us that forgiveness should be a constant state of consciousness. This forgiveness frees not only the one who is forgiven, but primarily the one who forgives, dissolving the chains of resentment that prevent the flow of divine love. Detachment from materialism is a crucial aspect of this awakening process. When Jesus taught us to seek first the kingdom of God, he was showing us the way to true freedom. This detachment does not mean neglecting our material responsibilities, but rather developing a new relationship with the material world, where goods and resources are seen as instruments to manifest love and serve others, not as ends in themselves. It is a shift in perspective, where our security and happiness no longer depend on external possessions, but emanate from our connection with the divine. The biblical story presents us with extraordinary examples of how God chooses his instruments, not for their apparent qualities, but for their inner availability. Moses, with his speech difficulty, became the voice of liberation for an entire people. David, the youngest among his brothers, became the king after God's own heart. Peter, in his impulsiveness, was chosen as the rock upon which the church would be built. These narratives reveal a profound truth to us. Divine choice is not based on external perfection, but on the capacity for surrender and availability to serve. The calling of the chosen manifests through a sacred restlessness, a deep feeling that there is something greater to be accomplished, a mission that transcends worldly concerns. It is like an inner flame that does not extinguish, even in the face of the greatest challenges. This restlessness is not a burden, but an awakening to our true nature and divine purpose. We are living in a unique moment in the history of humanity, a period of profound transition where the old structures of consciousness are dissolving to make way for a new spiritual paradigm. The chosen are those who feel deep within them the call to be bridges in this transition, anchoring higher frequencies of consciousness on the earthly plane. The Christ consciousness that awakens in the chosen is not a personal achievement, but a divine gift that manifests through those who open themselves to receive it. This higher consciousness brings with it a deeper understanding of universal love, unconditional forgiveness, and divine wisdom. When a chosen one awakens to this consciousness, they naturally become a beacon of light, inspiring others through their living example of transformation. The challenges and difficulties that the chosen face are not punishments, but opportunities for refinement and expansion of consciousness. Each trial serves the divine purpose of strengthening their faith and deepening their understanding of spiritual truth. It is through these challenges that the inner light strengthens and becomes more radiant. Difficulties are like the fire that purifies gold, removing impurities and revealing the true shine of the soul. The role of the chosen goes far beyond receiving personal blessings. They are called to be channels through which divine blessings can flow to all humanity. They are intercessors who, through their conscious connection with the divine, help elevate the vibrational frequency of the planet. Their presence and actions, even the simplest ones, contribute to the collective transformation of consciousness. The new age that is approaching is not just a temporal change, but an elevation of the collective consciousness of humanity. The chosen are those who voluntarily offered themselves to be the first to awaken, preparing the way for others to follow. Their mission is to anchor the highest frequencies of love, peace, and harmony on the earthly plane. As light workers, the chosen operate on different levels of reality. Through prayer and meditation, they maintain an open channel with higher dimensions. Through service and compassion, they manifest divine love in concrete actions. Through their example of life, they inspire others to awaken to their own inner light. The call to be a chosen one is not a distinction of superiority, but an invitation to greater responsibility and service. It is a sacred commitment to manifest divine light amidst the shadows, to maintain faith in times of doubt, to be an instrument of peace in moments of conflict. It is a journey of constant transformation and expansion of consciousness, where each step brings us closer to the realization of our divine purpose on earth. The chosen are those who understand that their mission is not just individual, but collective. They recognize that every action, every thought, and every choice has an impact on the energetic field of the planet. Therefore, they seek to live in constant alignment with divine principles, knowing that their own transformation contributes to the transformation of the whole. This consciousness of unity is one of the main characteristics of the chosen. They understand that they are not separate from one another or from the divine source. This understanding manifests through a deep compassion for all beings and an unwavering commitment to the greater good. Even in moments of loneliness or misunderstanding, they keep the flame of universal love alive in their hearts. The awakening of the chosen is closely linked to the planetary awakening we are experiencing. As more souls awaken to their true divine nature, the vibrational frequency of the planet rises, creating conditions for even deeper transformations to occur. The chosen are like seeds of light planted in different parts of the world, each contributing in their unique way to this great transformation. The journey of the chosen is a journey of love, courage, and surrender. It is a path that requires constant dedication, but brings with it the deepest spiritual realizations. Each chosen one who awakens to their divine mission becomes a beacon of hope and inspiration for many others, thus contributing to the collective awakening of humanity. If you are reading these words at this moment, know that it is not a coincidence, but a divine calling echoing in your heart. The awakening of Christ consciousness is a sacred invitation that resonates deeply in the souls of those who have been chosen for a special mission in these times of transformation. This calling manifests in different ways in our lives. Sometimes it arises as an inexplicable restlessness, a deep feeling that there is something greater to be accomplished. Other times, it appears through synchronicities, significant encounters, or experiences that make us question our current reality. These are divine signs that guide us toward our true purpose. The willingness to open oneself to this transformation is the first step on this sacred journey. It is not necessary to be perfect or completely prepared. The only requirement is to have a heart willing to surrender to this process of transformation. As the Bible itself teaches us, God does not choose the qualified, but qualifies the chosen. This openness means being willing to look within yourself with honesty and courage. It means being ready to let go of old patterns, limiting beliefs, and behaviors that no longer serve your higher purpose. It is a process of renewal, where the old makes way for the new, where divine light begins to shine through all areas of your life. The awakening of Christ consciousness is not an easy path, but it is infinitely rewarding. It is a journey of self-discovery, where you begin to recognize your true divine nature. The difficulties that arise along the way are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth and strengthening of your faith. If you feel a resonance with these words, if something within you stirs as you read about this calling, know that you are one of the chosen. You are part of a special group of souls who came to Earth at this crucial moment of planetary transformation. The decision to accept this calling is deeply personal. There is no external pressure, only the gentle invitation of divine love to awaken to your true essence. When you say yes to this calling, doors begin to open, and the universe conspires to support your journey of transformation. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. There is an invisible network of light connecting all the chosen ones, and Christ Himself is present in your heart, guiding each of your steps on this path of awakening. The only question that remains is, are you ready to take the next step toward your true divine nature? By declaring, "I am ready to live Christ consciousness," you are doing much more than simply uttering words. You are establishing a sacred commitment to your own spiritual evolution. This declaration is an important milestone in your journey, a moment when you consciously open yourself to manifest a higher frequency of love and wisdom in your life. This affirmation resonates in the spiritual realms, signaling your availability to be an instrument of divine light in the world. It is like lighting a candle in the dark. The beings of light recognize your commitment and come closer to assist you on your journey of transformation. By connecting with others who share this same quest, you strengthen not only your own path, but also contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness. Each person who awakens to Christ consciousness becomes a beacon of light, inspiring and illuminating the way for others. This is just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. From this moment on, you will begin to notice subtle changes in your life. Synchronicities will become more frequent, deeper insights will arise, and you will feel a stronger connection to your divine essence. May the light of the inner Christ illuminate every step of your path. May you find the strength necessary to transcend challenges and the wisdom to recognize the blessings in every experience. May your heart remain open to receive and transmit the divine love that flows through you. Peace, light, and love on your awakening journey.